Hi guys, so I was recently posed with a statement. I'm looking at kind of buying a new car right now and also considering, other avenues, leasing, buying a used car, etc. My one friend said that buying a new car is a worse financial decision than leasing a new car. So that got me thinking, what the actual math is behind this. So let's do the math together. So the easiest way I figured we could do this was on a Tesla because they're the most upfront and clear with their pricing. Everyone else, I'm going to just get random pricing, and ultimately, I don't even know if I'd be able to get that pricing because dealerships are annoying. And yeah, so we're going to base this off of Tesla. So perhaps the example might be different if we go with, an Acura. I don't know. But I can't do every single car manufacturer in the world. So, we're just going to go off this for now. So a few variables that are going to stay consistent between the lease and the purchase of a car. So number one, on both figures, I'm going to do a $5,000 down payment. So number one. Number two, both a 36-month period. That's the longest Tesla will let you lease would be 36 months. So it made the most sense. So I'm going to break it up into 36-month chunks as well for the car that I theoretically purchase, Tesla Model 3. As well as 3-month chunks years of the Tesla Model 3 leased. So this is assuming we buy a brand new car. So start off with a payment, $924 a month, 0% interest. Now they are running a promotion right now. So again, you're kind of basing this off of current promotional pricing, but that 0% interest is a current promotion they're running for 36 months. That does include that $7,500 federal tax credit. Which basically gets you at the end of all those payments over 36 months, you've spent $33,264. That being said, I looked up what a used Model 3 from 3 years ago, so 2021 Model 3 with about 30,000 miles, it's 30,842 miles, so right around there. What that's going for on Tesla's website used, and it's $25,500. So you did incur a good chunk of depreciation there, about $7,764 in depreciation to start off. Now, on the lease end of things, so we lease, it's about $253 a month for 36 months. Not bad. So we're starting off with a much lower monthly payment. And then I assume 10,000 miles for the lease. That's about what I'd drive or less. I don't know about your own personal situation. There could be a million different variables here. And then at the end of that 36-month period, we would have spent $15,180 and had no car at the end. Now, we go to the next column, and that's another 3 years. So we're down 3 years. We now have on one side a used Model 3, 3 years old, and on the other side, we are starting up another round of lease. So take that new side. So we're now starting off that car, go through the same thing, drive around the same amount of miles, over that 3 years, and we end up with a 6-year-old car. Now that car, I looked up again, 61,000 miles, a 2018 Model 3. It's worth about $23,700. So that brings our loss so far from purchase price until now to about $9,564. On the lease end, I'm just assuming the same amount, $253 a month, 36 months, 10,000 miles, $15,180. Again, no car at the end. Second lease done. So pretty normal. Keep going. Now we're going to go into the third portion of this, which is that another 3-year cycle with that new car. So we're going to assume at this point that we have about 90,000 miles, 9 years in at the end of that third cycle. Now the Tesla Model 3 warranty is for 8 years, 100,000 miles. So we would have passed one of the two at this point at the end of this cycle. A battery cost, it varies, but to replace a Tesla Model 3 battery, now I'm obviously making the assumption here that this battery just goes kaput at like 100,000 miles or 9 years. Your battery may far outlast that. But the credit I'm kind of giving a new car here is that there won't be a lot of other maintenance costs, because from what I was kind of looking up, there's not a ton of maintenance costs in general in a Tesla. Again, mileage will vary literally when it comes to things like this. So you might break everything. I don't know. So I just have to go off averages. But yeah, battery costs on average about $13,000. So we're assuming the worst kind of situation, including labor, $13,000. So after costs, that's about $8,900. And during the lifespan of the car, you're going to have to replace the tires probably about twice in 100,000 miles at least. Again, varying estimates on the cost of tires for a Tesla Model 3, but it seemed like I could get 2 sets of tires for about $1,500. So after the cost of that battery, after depreciation, after 2 sets of tires, and then you throw in a few dollars here and there for windshield wiper fluid, you're at about $7,400 in equity in that car after about 9 years of use, 90,000 miles roughly. Now with the lease, you've used another cycle of the lease. You never had to pay for any tires or anything or replace a battery, etc., which is great. And then you end up at that lease with no car because it was a lease. So you have to hand it back. Tesla also doesn't offer any sort of option where you can turn in a lease or buy out the lease, whatever it's called. So yeah, you end those cycles with no car. So yeah, at the end of that lease, you'll be down $45,540, which is quite a big difference versus $7,400 in equity. Now, obviously, that new car is going to continue to depreciate in value more and more and more, and it will be worth far less, and more issues will come up as you own it. But the point being there, the difference is quite large. Even if you throw in some other costs, maybe another crazy repair or two, it's still going to be quite a stretch because you're about a $50,000 difference over that 9-year period. Now, the one intangible where I want to give credit where credit is due to the lease, and that is that you get a brand new Model 3 every cycle. So you can't really count for that. It's just a nice kind of thing. If you do want a new car every sort of cycle, then you're going to have a brand new Model 3 every 3 years. So hard to account for mathematically, but there is that to say for the lease side of things. That being said, all those numbers coming together, I cannot see a reason how math-wise a lease would come out on top of a car. Maybe if they offer the option to buy out at the end of the lease, I don't know, you'd really have to run the numbers again. Tesla doesn't seem to offer that, at least at this point. So, and again, to the credit of the leasing side, this might be different if you do this with a Hyundai. I don't know, because again, car companies are very difficult and they don't just let you buy a car except for Tesla. I have to go to a dealership and negotiate, and I don't really know what the numbers will be, so it's very hard to say. But I think all in all, buying a car brand new wins over lease in this case. So you let me know down below though, what do you think? I cannot see how his math is coming up that leasing a car could financially be any bit better unless you just want to be in a brand new car and you don't want the maintenance, which is totally fair, but financially doesn't make any sense. You let me know down below though what you think. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.